Alright, crossing Washington Street. And crossing the train tracks. Ideally, there'd be a curb cut right here. And here. And there. Anyway, now on the bridle path, right near Summit Path. Notice these street lights. They're offset 14 feet on center from that left-hand curve. Nice call them right along. They're kind of marking where the path would be. These angled cars were moved out to make that space again. Now to my right, at the very least, this would be marked to make a more complete lane. And contraflow relative to cars. Here I am going to ride more where the path would be. Contraflow relative to the cars would be on my left. See those street lights again. 14 feet on center from that curve. It's amazing. There they are. Here's where I'd like to be. Right by those street lights. Alright, approaching Marion Street. Again, contraflow would be kind of where this sidewalk is. Obviously, these curb bulbs were created thinking about pedestrian use, primarily focused about getting away from the median rather than continuing through, and protecting the path at crossings but not going through. It's just a different bias. Here, I'm actually going to go up on the curb, partly because there's just so much pavement. There are a lot of these curb islands, curb bulbs that are like that. It's just a very considerable amount of pavement that already exists that can be used. Here's one where one of the bulbs was already paved. We're approaching Central Street in order to create this hubway. So you can sort of see the trees on the right, trees on the left. I think this path could be made. Maybe we could move the hubway station and make this space available. This is a tricky spot. It's tricky because the bike lane disappears. And the reason why the bike lane disappears is that the bike lane near the doors of the cars is that the space has already been allocated to the middle of the road for this pathway to the station. So I'm going to go ahead here when I have permission to do so. Alright, here we go. So there's all this pavement. I mean, this is a little bit loopy, but pretty much we're getting closer to the path that we want to take. Here I'm approaching Coolidge Corner. Now remember that path on my left There's space has already been allocated there. A little section of it is not paved, and there's already this pathway. And look at those trees. Yes, some bushes might have to be sacrificed, but there's already a right-of-way going right into Coolidge Corner. It could be widened for bi-directional travel. The place where the work of this path is really incomplete is here. Coming in and walking my bike in, you get to a point where there's just, it dead ends in the station. Unfortunately, some traffic control boxes were located right where I would prefer the path to go. I would like it to more or less go straight through and stop. And queue here outside the station to cross over. To do some more careful analysis. But you can see the pathway. There are trees to the right, but there's space to the left. Lots of bushes, but the mature trees are generally further to the right. I'm going to cross back to the outer edge. Harvard Street. I would like to continue through, but again, there's no pavement right now in Coolidge Corner. But there is a lot of space in this island in the middle where the station is, so I think there's some real opportunities, especially with the trees being towards the edges. All right, I'm going to go across and now do what I usually do, which is to bike along the edge. No bike lane here because of the width of the station. You can see, again, those trees. So I would want the path to cross over to the other side. And this side's just too narrow. The beauty is Pleasant Street is really a pleasant street to bike on. Apologies for the pun. It really is a nice one. Pardon? So normally I push the button, and then I cross over here. You can see the zone right where the station is. Go up and walk my bike. This is the zone where now I've come through. I'm just going to turn the bike and you can see. Look at that space over there. There are trees on the right, a few bushes in the middle, but I feel like there may really be some opportunities to have a path continue through between those trees and cross over in a careful treatment. Some of that fence might need to be taken away, and maybe an additional crossing graded through the station, maybe along that right-hand edge, to make it more like Washington Square, but I feel like there really is some opportunity there. And Pleasant Street, again, it's such a pleasant street to bike on. This would really create an opportunity for that to become a stronger connection, kind of like a pier to Longwood Avenue is when going south and east. Pleasant Street is a wonderful street to go south, north and east. And with careful application of contraflow right over here, you could have a nice way to cross from the path in the median, which will have switched sides now and proceeds now on the north side of the street. And there could be a great connection to Pleasant Street, which is a tiny bit of contraflow right here. And that then in turn can be a connector to Babcock Street, if you were to take a left at this next corner. Right now I'm walking my bike on the sidewalk. But this is a really nice connection that makes a great way to get to and from Cambridge and link up to Beacon Street. Here we are at the public library.